Hello, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome back to Chiefs Chronicle, your home for everything Kansas City Chiefs. In today's episode of Chiefs Chronicle, we're diving into three of the biggest headlines shaking up Chiefs Kingdom right now. A former playoff nemesis could soon be catching touchdowns for the Chiefs instead of against them. A once feared pass rusher, recently released, is now eyeing another shot at a ring. And despite loading up on new weapons, Brett Veach might not be done shaking up the wide receiver room just yet. With rumors swirling and the offseason heating up, the Kansas City Chiefs could be preparing for one final move, or maybe even two, that reshapes their Super Bowl push entirely. So buckle up, Chiefs fans, because what comes next might just change everything. Before we dive deep into these major updates, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Chiefs Chronicle. Now, let's get into it. Update 1, the Chiefs are being urged to sign Gabe Davis, the same wide receiver who once torched Kansas City for 4 touchdowns in that legendary 13 seconds playoff game. Yes, that Gabe Davis. Recently released by the Jacksonville Jaguars after a disappointing stint, Davis is now a free agent and could be looking for redemption. And what better place than with the reigning champs? At just 26 years old, Davis still has size, athleticism, and playoff experience that most teams would covet. He stands at 6 feet 2 inches, 225 pounds, and brings a physical edge that could immediately boost Kansas City's red zone presence. Now, let's talk fit. The Chiefs' current wide receiver room includes Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Jalen Royals, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Skyway Moore. But injuries derailed both Rice and Brown in 2024. And outside of Worthy, no one has consistently stepped up as a true WR1. Adding Davis could solve a couple of issues. First, he brings playoff pedigree. Second, he'd be playing with the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes. It's worth remembering that during his Buffalo Bills days, Davis scored 7 touchdowns in 3 of his 4 seasons. In his best year, 2022, he put up 836 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 15 games. In short, he knows how to find the end zone. Davis struggled in Jacksonville's system, managing just 20 catches for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the Jaguars' offense was a mess last season. This would be a low-risk, high-reward pickup. If Davis can even replicate 70% of his Buffalo form in Andy Reid's offense, the Chiefs would get an immediate red zone weapon without needing to spend big. Would Davis be a star in KC? That's debatable. But could he help unlock another layer of this offense? Absolutely. Let's move on to Update 2, a question swirling around the league. Could the Chiefs sign Jadeveon Clowney? Yes, the former number. 1 overall pick is back on the market after being cut by the Carolina Panthers during rookie minicamp. At first glance, you might think Clowney's days as a top-tier edge rusher are over. And you wouldn't be wrong. He's 31 years old and posted just 5.5 sacks last season on a historically bad Panthers defense. But Clowney still brings elite run defense, experience, and versatility that could fit well in Kansas City's deep rotation. Let's be clear, this wouldn't be a headline-grabbing move like trading for a star, but it could be a quietly crucial addition. With George Karlaftis, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, Mike Dana, Charles Omenihu, and rookie Ashton Gallot already in the building. The Chiefs' pass rush is deep but not dominant. Bringing in Clowney would add another strong edge setter who knows how to spill runs outside and bring some pressure and passing downs, even if it's in a rotational role. And here's the kicker. Clowney is likely desperate to finally win a Super Bowl. Kansas City presents one of the best opportunities in the league to do that. From a veteran's perspective, it's the perfect landing spot. A stable, winning culture, a stacked roster, and a proven defensive coordinator in Steve Spagnuolo who knows how to get the most out of his players. But will the Chiefs actually make the move? That's unclear. The biggest barrier might be roster flexibility. Omenihu, for example, could be expendable if Clowney signs. And that's a tough call, given Omenihu's impact in the postseason before his injury. It's a long shot, but if Clowney is willing to accept a team-friendly deal and a rotational role, this is the kind of veteran move that could pay off in January, when it really matters. Update 3, do the Chiefs need to make another move at wide receiver? This is the question on every fan's mind, especially after a 2024 season where the wideout group was plagued by inconsistency and injuries. Outside of rookie Xavier Worthy, no one really stepped up as a dominant force. Rashee Rice had a breakout year, but off-field issues and injuries created uncertainty. Marquise Brown, Skyway Moore, and Kadarius Toney all had stretches of availability but couldn't establish themselves as weekly difference makers. But the Chiefs aren't standing still. In the 2025 NFL Draft, they added Utah State standout Jalen Royals, a dynamic, high-effort receiver who's expected to make waves in his rookie year. They also brought back several injured veterans to give Mahomes a more familiar and stable group heading into the new season. So is it enough? Well, names like Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper are still floating in free agency. Both are proven, productive veterans who have tormented the Chiefs in the past, and either could bring veteran leadership and production without a massive financial commitment. But here's the reality. Kansas City seems content with what they have. The coaching staff believes that the chemistry between Mahomes and his returning receivers matters. They've doubled down on internal development and will rely on a competitive training camp to bring out the best in this group. And frankly, they might be right. Worthy is a rising star. Rice, if healthy and focused, can be a WR1. Royals brings upside. And with a future Hall of Famer throwing the football, sometimes that's all you need. So while the idea of adding a name like Keenan Allen is exciting, don't be surprised if the Chiefs roll into the season with their current squad, trusting that Mahomes can elevate the pieces around him once again. And that wraps up today's Chiefs Chronicle. What do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? Should the team take a shot on Gabe Davis? Would Jadeveon Clowney make sense in a rotational role? And do we need one more proven wide receiver before week 1? Or is the current group enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a moment of Chiefs, breaking news, draft analysis, and off-season rumors. This is Chiefs Chronicle, and we'll be back soon with more updates from Arrowhead. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and go Chiefs.